basically I bought a Dell computer, focused on price and expecting reliability that did not happen. The Dell computer failed, and it failed because of a manufacturing error where they left a fan out. According to things I've looked up on the internet about this identical system, I spent actually several months working with Microsoft, reloading everything. I lost data that I had worked on, and I replaced the computer with a Hewlett-Packard, and that was because my wife has used one for 11 years, and I felt like it was more reliable. Overall, I'm much happier with it. And like I say, my contacts with Dell have been very disappointing. They have not assumed any responsibility or even acknowledged that there could have been a problem, and they want to fix. They would only repair it at my expense. So I was very disappointed with that. So my overall feeling is that it's a done deal. It's over with. There's no need being aggravated about it, agonizing over it. And I just wanted to put out a notice to the general public saying, hey, be a little concerned if you're buying a Dell product. Okay, I bought a few years ago a Dell Inspiron 24 system. It's all-in-one desktop. It came, or I ordered it with Windows 10 and Microsoft Office 365. When I first got it, I used it very little. I was actually learning to use it, but transferring stuff over and all that. As I started using it more, second year mainly, it started having problems where it would hang. It would be very slow in coming on. And sometimes we get a screen flicker or just a flicker. It was taking a long time to save files to write. As a matter of fact, the computer couldn't keep up with my typing. And I'm not a fast typer, but I mean, the computer was slow, not me fast. So I contacted Microsoft. I really thought it was a Microsoft problem. I reloaded Windows 10, reloaded the Microsoft Office, worked through everything with them. And to tell you the truth, I really thought it was a Microsoft problem, and I was giving them a hard time because the computer wasn't working. As I used it more, and I'm actually an author, I write books. As I was writing books, the computer could not keep up. I couldn't save files. I couldn't have more than one app open at a time. It would actually just hang, and it'd hang for like minutes, not just seconds, 2 or 3 minutes. I took everything down, reloaded the system again, Windows 10, Microsoft Office, and all that, and had the Microsoft technical support go through my system with their remote access. They found nothing wrong, and so I tried to keep using it. The hangs where it would actually hang for minutes, it got longer, up like 10 to 15 minutes it would hang, and they were more frequent, and the computer was actually becoming unuseful. At this point, it actually hung one time during a disk write, corrupted the disk drive. I lost everything on the disk drive that wasn't backed up, which actually was quite a bit. I should have known better. I should have backed stuff up, but I lost a lot of work. I had to reformat the drive, everything else. Tried it again, and the more I used it, it would hang more. And finally, it just died. It actually hung where it would not come out of it at all. And at that point, I opened up the system and found that the fan was not installed that was supposed to be installed from the factory. I looked online, found the checkouts from it on YouTube, looked at several different YouTubes. For that model and that serial number, everything, it should have had a fan. The fan was not installed from the factory. So I'm speculating now, this is my guess, but that the processor the more I used it, would overheat and hang up. And finally, the processor burned up, died completely, and all. So I had to replace it with a HP Pavilion 22, which I actually like a lot better. It's actually much faster, quicker. Also I'm happy with HP, but I contacted Dell technical support, and they said, "Well, the computer's out of warranty. You can send it in. We'll fix it." But they would not give me a quote or anything else, and they wanted a credit card number before I sent it in. I'm not, that's open-ended. I certainly wasn't going to do that. I was very upset with Dell. I called them a couple times, and all they wanted to do is put me through to technical support. I tried to talk to sales. The sales department said, "Well, that's not our problem. If it's used computer 2 years old, it's not our problem." So anyway, that's basically, I replaced it. I got nothing for it. I'm actually upset about all the material that I had put in that I lost, as I am about losing the computer. And there's no way to recover that. I have a backup system, but I don't run it every night. I used to run it every couple of weeks. Now I'm running it every night, even though I got a new computer. So, but anyway, like I say, my real problem was Dell just brushed it off as, well, that's not a big deal, and it's out of warranty. What's the complaint? But my complaint is the complaint is the computer failed, but the computer failed, I believe, because the fan was not installed. And looking on YouTube, looking online, several places, for that model, it should have had a fan installed in it. The fact that Dell brushed it off as really not a problem. The computer lasted through its warranty, so they felt like there was no problem with it. I don't buy a computer every 90 days or every year. I think it's a year warranty. And I also, my wife's computer, which also happens to be an HP, is 11 years old, and she's still using it. And we've had no problems with it. Very minor, if cookies or something gets overloaded or it gets, we have to actually do a little cleanup on it every year or so. But we carry virus protection and all that, and her systems worked fine for 11 years, and I expected a Dell computer to last longer than 2 years, 5 to 7, something on that order. They've already told me they're not going to replace or fix the computer at their cost. It would only be at my cost. And they would not give me a quote. Like I said, well, a processor would be $175 or something, and fan and all. And also, they're talking about they're just going to fix it, send it back, and it's up to luck whether it works adequately or not. I don't like that. So I felt like that I did not get but 20% use out of the computer. I would expect them to offer 80% rebate on it. I think the original computer was $469. So computers actually come down in price. So but like I said, that I would expect part of compensation. They're not going to compensate me for the work that I put in, the work that I lost that I didn't back up. And I can possibly say that's partly my fault. I should have backed it up. But again, it was because I did not expect a reliability problem that I did not back it up. So I would like for Dell to compensate me some. I would like for them to apologize, saying, "Hey, we shouldn't have put out a computer without a fan in it that's supposed to have one." But that's so. I don't expect anything from them because, like I say, their sales department wouldn't really talk to me, and their service department only wanted to fix it at my cost.